You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Friday, January 30th, TGIF. It's Friday. The work week nearly over. The weekend is nearly here. Hopefully you guys are set for a great weekend, not just here in the Quad Cities, but in the world of sports and in the world of professional wrestling as well. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We have a jam-packed, great show for you. Really excited about today's show. So get comfortable, get locked in, and enjoy the next 2 hours as we get you to the weekend as well. If you're watching right now on YouTube, we appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed, do that ASAP and tell all your friends about what we're doing right here every weekday at 10 a.m. right here in the Quad Cities. We're also live on X as well. X has been very, very good to us, and on both platforms. Make sure you give us your feedback. On YouTube, we have the chat up and going, a great way to ask guest questions, yell at me, all those kind of things. So make sure you're engaging and being interactive with us there. Same thing on X as well. You can listen to today's podcast and every show that we do anywhere you get your podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Podbean, wherever you get your podcast, just put in Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Check out the show, listen to the show each and every weekday. And also a special welcome to our viewers in Central Iowa. We are on each and every weeknight at 7 p.m. on the WHO streaming app. So we appreciate that. And your feedback from the center part of the state of Iowa as well. This week has been a fun week. Pat Anger, Nicholas Baer, Tom Kakert, and Tyler Tashman broke down the Iowa football schedule. We had Mike Kegley, Anthony Rome, the new head football coach at Rock Island. Makoka's Chad Specht is the Cardinals are the number one ranked team in the state of Iowa. All of that and much more. So if you missed anything from the past week, head back, check it out. Do that this weekend when it's nasty, cold, snowy, all that kind of stuff. It's January into February. Eventually, the weather will be getting nicer and you'll be more active on the weekends. But if you got nothing to do this weekend, go check out some of the shows from this past week as well. I mentioned I'm excited about today's show. Very good reason. We've talked about it all week. Logan Jones, the Rimington Award winner, the former Hawkeye now, the best center in college football this past season and soon to be NFL draft pick. Logan Jones will be with us here in a matter of moments. Excited to catch up and chat with him. He was on the Hawkeye Tailgate show once this past season. Did a great job. Really a well-spoken young man. So excited to chat with Logan Jones here in a matter of moments. Also coming up here in hour number one, down in Illinois in the men's basketball program, which, by the way, won their 10th straight game last night against Washington. There's a little bit of Quad City at the Illinois basketball program. Former Rock Island standout, Colton Sigel, of course, son of Hall of Fame head coach over at Rock Island and Rock Falls, Thom Sigel, is a grad assistant at Illinois as he gets into the coaching business and the coaching field. We're going to catch up with Colton coming up later in hour number one. Fun interview, fun chat with him as he talks about this opportunity to be around one of the nation's best programs, one of the nation's best staffs, when he decided to kind of get into the coaching game, all of those kind of things. And we'll make fun of his dad, which is the most important part coming up here in just a little bit. Also, hour number two of the show, it is Royal Rumble weekend, and we are going to talk all about the Royal Rumble, preview it with my good friend Nick Bull from Card Subject to Change podcast and our wrestling expert, Don Umland. Don, of course, our officials expert as well. He will put on an entirely different hat and we will break down what should be an amazing Royal Rumble coming up tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. So a little bit of everything for everyone on today's show. And if you're a wrestling fan, you got to check out the preview. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Some news and notes before we get rocking and rolling. The Iowa women's basketball team no longer undefeated in the Big Ten. They lost last night out at USC, 81-69, the final in that one. They trailed by as many as 15 early, got back within 3. You thought, okay, here we go. Then they fell back behind by 22, I think. Got within 12. That's what they lose by. Foul trouble on the night. Ava Hayden in foul trouble. Hannah Stolke with one of her worst games in the last month. She's been amazing of late, but she was quiet last night. Nice night off the bench for Journey Houston. She stepped up nicely. 16 points, 8 rebounds in like 26 minutes. So the Davenport North standout playing very well, but the Hawkeyes suffer their first loss of the season in Big Ten play, and it's not going to get any easier on Sunday. They stay in LA. They play UCLA on Sunday, the number 2 ranked Bruins. So a tall task to get back on track, and then they'll get back here a little closer to home after that. We will chat with Rob Brooks after the UCLA game, the voice of Iowa women's basketball on Monday. So that should be really a good chat as well. Also last night on the guys' side of things, Illinois winning their 10th straight. We talked about that. They beat Washington 75-66. Keaton Wagler, good again, 22-8-5. Ben Humrichhaus hit 4 threes off the bench. They get Nebraska on Sunday at 3 p.m. Nebraska beat Illinois in Champaign. Nebraska suffering their first loss in Big Ten play just a few nights ago, although it was an impressive performance. They went to Michigan and lost by 3. Really big game in the Big Ten coming up on Sunday, 3 p.m. in Lincoln, Nebraska. And last night, the Iowa State Cyclones cruise. They led 30-4 over Colorado to start the game. They win 97-67. 6 Cyclones finished in double figures. So a good night for the Iowa State men and the Illinois men as well. And one quick football note, not breaking anymore from Adam Scheffler, but Ian Cunningham, the assistant general manager for the Bears, has been hired as the general manager for the Falcons. Usually along with that comes compensation picks, usually a couple third-round picks. The Bears won't get that because Cunningham goes to the Falcons, but the NFL sees Matt Ryan as their main football decision maker. So no comp picks for the Bears. They lose a key piece of their front office, and as a Lions fan, this happens. I mean, obviously, you look at the staff has stayed pretty, intact. Eric Bieniemy left to go back to Kansas City, but a big piece of the front office going to the Falcons. That's what happens when you have success. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because it means you're having success. Nobody comes and gets your guys when you're not very good. So the Bears will have a new assistant general manager come next year as well. We got a lot to get to on today's show. We start with the best center in college football in 2025. So joining us now to talk all about a fantastic season for the Iowa Hawkeyes and a little thing called the NFL draft coming up here soon too as well. Logan Jones, former University of Iowa offensive lineman. Logan, does that sound weird to hear former in front of that name?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the first time I've heard it since my time at the University of Iowa. So very weird. Going to take some getting used to for sure. No,
once a Hawkeye, always a Hawkeye. Remington Award winner, a fantastic season. Thank you for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. I really look forward to it.
It was an amazing season, and there's so much to talk to you about because you got the draft coming up, the Remington, but I want to start with the season itself. And you're back in Iowa City. The expectations were there. It was such a fun season, and there was roller coaster ride, ups and downs, and all those kind of things. When you look back at a big picture of your last season at the University of Iowa, how do you sum it up? What comes to mind?
Man, I'm beyond grateful for just the opportunity I got to play for people like Coach Ferentz and Coach Barnett and to have a career. And it's not just because of accolades and things like that make it rewarding, but just to have teammates that I did, to be able to spend time with them and to have fun and just, this past season, the amount of adversity we had to go through, like it was just so rewarding because you look at it from a perspective as a man, like the amount of growth I had from when I got on campus to now, like just completely night and day. So just how much growth I've had since my freshman year is just ridiculous. And I'm just so grateful for it.
9 wins this season. You win a bowl game, all of those great things. When you look back at it too, this season and where you guys were and where you guys came from, what will you remember about this season? Like, what will this team be identified as when it comes to the 2025 Iowa football team?
Yeah. Truly just a special group and dudes who, regardless of the opponent, like, and we showed it this year, like we were just going to go out and compete, and we played with some of the best teams. I mean, we played Indiana, really good team, Oregon, like these really good teams. We showed that we can play with the best of them, and it's never been about like talent. It's just been about the guys you have on your team. And this past year, it's just a bunch of guys having fun playing football, and that's why it was so rewarding. And I think that's what I'll remember most.
The identity maybe of this football team, one of the identities was that offensive line with those big uglies up front, if you will. What was it about those guys? And I don't want to say just the front five, but that whole room seemed to set the tone each week for this football team. What was it about that group that was pretty special? A bunch of those guys, including yourself, will be playing on Sundays here in the very near future as well. So what was it about that group?
Man, I just think the most important thing was just how close of friends we all were. Like, you look at the growth we had from when I first moved into the offensive line room to now, just like how it's changed in the aspect of just like wanting to hang out. And like, we always had O-line dinners, or like the past 2 summers we went on like trips together. So just the idea of like wanting to be around each other and truly enjoying it. And, every one of those dudes in that room is just, I mean, they're all idiots. And I think that's the best part of it. You just get to have so much fun, and you never know what you're going to get, coming into meetings that morning, guys arguing about something stupid, like just truly best friends. And I think that's just what made this past season so much fun and why we had the success that we did.
I have that knucklehead named Pat Anger on our show every Monday, and I asked him this week, like, hey, what are your top 5 moments from this past season? Because the schedule is coming out for next year, and I was like, let's put this year to bed by looking back one last time. And I don't want to do the top 5 with you because I don't want to put you on the spot, but are there a moment or two that stands out? And here's the thing I realized, Logan, is that because Pat doesn't do any homework, so I had to do all the homework for him and remind him of what the moments were. And I'm going through it, and there were a ton of unforgettable. I'll argue that the Mark Gronowski touchdown to take the lead against Oregon, game didn't finish the way you wanted, but when you take a moment, that stadium, the rain, that moment, arguably, what moments stick out, I guess, to you as you look back at your senior year?
I think that one that you definitely talked about is absolutely up there, because I think we went on a 95-yard drive, which in my career has never been done. Like, just in that moment, like you talked about, with like our team needs us to score, and we got to go do it, and we go do it, and it's just crazy to like be a part of that drive, and just like you could feel that, I knew like once we stepped on the field, we were going to go score. Like I could just feel it. And I think that's just like coming from Mark, like, like he wants to win and he's a competitor. Like, you just knew. And then he goes out, does what he does, making plays. Having him it was awesome. He's just a baller. And then I think another moment, talking about Penn State, that game, and, it was just back and forth the entire game. They had a blocked field goal and they go and score right before half. You're like, oh. So then things get a little scary, but to be able to come back out that second half and, put together, a nice second half on both sides of the ball, and, that last drive or two, just, clinching the game. It was so much fun. And, Penn State, I think it's deceptive because their record, people think they're a bad team, but they were a very good football team. Yeah. So to win that game, with my teammates out there, a night game in Kinnick, like you just can't buy that feeling.
You mentioned Mark Gronowski. When did you know when that dude came on campus that he was wired the way he was wired. I mean, that is the fact that he made winning plays. He was a winner.
Yeah.
When did you realize he was different in a good way?
I think, honestly, so when he came here in the spring, just he wasn't getting any reps because he had shoulder surgery and whatnot. But like he would come out and he was taking drops with a helmet, like real drops, like behind the quarterbacks, like seeing things like you can just tell like how bad he wanted it, and he was just fully invested, despite the fact that he wasn't actually able to practice. Like he wanted to be out there more than anybody, and you could see that in his approach. Like he was calling calls in his head, like acting like he was actually out there. Like I knew, like from that moment, like this dude he's legit.
You look at the rivals, and the last rival I know is a little extra special for you, but 37-0, I think 41-3, 40-16. To do what you guys did against trophy games and the schools you don't like and all those kind of things. What was that like? And maybe talk a little more about that last one, because I know that one was extra sweet for a guy like you.
Yeah, I mean, trophy games are always so much fun to play in. They just always seem to mean a little bit more, and then the rivalries and whatnot. But I think, like you talked about that last one, I feel like every year, the Iowa Nebraska game is always so close, and it comes down to a field goal. Even when I was like a kid watching that game, it was always the same thing. So to be able to go out there and put up however 41 points and just spank them, you can't beat that right there, especially against a rivalry, a team that, that was always my favorite game. And to be able to go there and win the football game, it was awesome.
What's a better moment, that or what was it a couple days ago? You go back to Lincoln, this time to get a Remington trophy and an award that every center in football would love to get. Kind of talk about that experience. Which one was better? I mean, there was plenty of red, I think, both times, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a bunch of red, and man, I just think honestly the team won, the Heroes Trophy. I think what's so cool about that one is just like you're there with your team and you got to do it with everybody, right? So that was really cool. But no, the Remington was just, I mean, it was so cool, and they were awesome people over there. Even though they were all Nebraska fans, they treated us great. But yeah, it was a lot of fun both times over there. I've had a great couple trips over to Lincoln this year.
What did that trophy mean? I know it's a team sport and you're a team guy.
Yeah.
But take that away for a second and be a little less modest. That's a big deal. And I know it's something that you take a lot of pride in. What was this week like, and sharing it with coaches and Coach Burnett and those type of people? What did that mean?
It was just so special, and to have those guys, two men, Coach Ferentz, Coach Barnett, come and support me when I know their schedules are very busy, but to be there, that meant a lot. And those are two of the best leaders I've ever been around and people I look up to. So that was very special. But then just, to get that award, you look at the center who got it before me, Tyler Linderbaum. It was just a special night. And I think a lot of times, people think that like the Rimington is just the center. Like I would not have gotten that award without the guys I got to play with. Peep, Dunk, Bo, Trev. Like I had really good guys around me who made my job easy. They really did. So like that award is absolutely just as much theirs as it is mine.
I know you mentioned Coach Burnett. Your development has been fantastic, and that's what I love about the University of Iowa football program is that they develop football players. They develop NFL players, Logan, and that's what you're going to be. Take me through that journey. Who was instrumental to you when it came to your development and to where you are right now as you get ready to prepare for the NFL draft?
Yeah, I think, like I said, two men in particular. It starts with Coach Ferentz and the way he leads the program. Like his message never really changed a whole lot. It was, simple, but it was true. He always talked about like how the little things are important and how you show up. And then Coach Barnett was just great at relaying that message and, giving us exactly what we need. And I think I grew the most when I really transitioned over to the offensive line and was listening to just Coach Barnett, and his big message was like, who are you going to be on your worst day? Like when you're tired, like who are you going to be? Like everybody else is tired, but like, who are you going to be? Right. And that's what separates, men from everybody else. And it was never about the football aspect of things. It was always just about like who you are as a man and the importance of showing up, and then everything else after that will take care of itself.
I want to talk to you about what's next, but before you leave this season, to go down to Florida and to beat a very good Vanderbilt team and to leave with a victory and the way you guys got to do that, what was that like for yourself, those seniors that mean a lot to you and this program? What was that bowl game and that trip down to Florida like for you guys?
It was just awesome. First of all, I mean, Tampa is just such a fun time, and to be able to hang out down there was awesome. But to be able to, go play an SEC school and get a win, when everybody thinks that, the Big Ten can't hang with SEC, when we showed that, obviously the Big Ten is better than the SEC this past, bowl season. It was just a lot of fun. And to be able to go out there one last time with my teammates was just the best part. And to see so many guys have success that day, from like Mark, one of my best friends, Ethan Hurk, had 2 sacks that day. Like, it was just everything about that day seemed to be perfect. And then you end the night hanging out with your teammates. It was just, the whole thing was special.
You look at now getting ready for the next level. We kind of talked before we started this that you're relaxing a little bit, still working out, obviously getting ready for what's next. What is preparation like? It seems like you got some guys down at the Shrine Bowl, some guys Senior Bowl, some guys, but everybody still goes to Iowa City. And it seems like even the guys in the league still go to Iowa City. And you listen to some guys say, hey, I'm going to go to train in Florida and I'm going to go train here. And why Iowa City? What is it about that place that has everybody keep coming back to get ready to go play on Sundays?
Like I said, it starts with the people. Absolutely. And, our strength staff does such a great job with us, and they just make us feel at home. I mean, just be able to shoot the shit with them, hang out with them is just the best part of it. Those guys do a great job. And I think like NFL guys are starting to come back now and hang out, lift with us. I think that's one of the cooler parts, because you just got to talk their ears off. So like, I know Lindy, he comes back. Connor Colby came back today. Like, a bunch of these guys are going to start coming back, and that's just so much fun. You get to talk with some guys, and it just shows you how special, Iowa is if people keep coming back.
I'm a draft nerd. I'm a mock draft nerd. I'm a Lions fan. I already want like Linderbaum to sign with the Lions, but they need it. They have a need at center. So if Tyler's too expensive, there's a guy from the University of Iowa that I think would look good in Honolulu Blue. Do you? And I've seen a mock draft time or two that has you going there. Do you can't do that, can you? You don't sit there and look at mock drafts. Or what have you heard? What do you expect as you start down this road for the NFL draft coming up in April?
Right now, my main focus is just, on my training and like working towards that. Because once, I get to the combine, I'm sure we'll have a bunch of meetings with coaches and everything like that, and interviews and all that good stuff. And I'm super excited. Like, playing for the Lions would be cool. Playing for any team in the NFL would be cool, right? Like, it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool opportunity, because you look at it from like, when I was a little kid, I always talked about playing in the NFL, and like, I'm right on the verge of like that opportunity, which is just so cool. You see guys that work so hard for this, and to be able to, have the opportunity to do it, I'm just beyond grateful.
Logan Jones joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Want to have a little fun with you when it comes to some funner questions, some more fun questions.
Yeah.
Funner's not a word. That's what my mom would always tell me. I don't know if I should do this with just the offensive line or the whole team. Let's just do the whole team. Who's the funniest guy on the football team at the University of
Iowa? I would have to say, it's not even that he means to be funny. He's just, you laugh at him. It's not like you laugh with him. Jennings Dunker, absolutely. He's a funny dude.
I love it. I think I guess the question I wrote down is the toughest guy on the Iowa basketball team or football team, but I'll ask it like Pat probably would ask it, Anger. If you're in a fight and you need somebody to get your back, who's that guy you're taking with you to go to war, or to maybe rough some guys up?
If I had to, oh, jeez, there's two that come to mind instantly. Um,
You can take two.
Ethan
I'll let
Hurkett
you take
for
two.
sure.
I'll let you
Okay,
take
yeah.
two.
So I think if I had to take two, Hurkett for sure. He grew up doing like jujitsu and with some weird stuff like that. So he's kind of got some moves, I bet. And then Bo Stevens is a psycho. I don't know if anybody knows that. Like it would be very scary for the other person if he were to, be there with me. So those two for sure.
I like it. I like it. Who's the smartest player on the University of Iowa football team?
I'm trying to think who this one. Oh, Jackson Rexroth is going to be a doctor, so I'd have to give it to him for sure.
All right, that works. I mean, you're supposed to say yourself, not yourself.
I'm not school smart, I'll tell you that.
If you're going to an eating competition and you're going to need somebody to go to an eating competition with you, who's that guy? Julian Vandervelde was an old NFL sorry, Julian, I don't mean to but played for the Hawkeyes, and his stories of his recruiting visit and everything he ate during his recruiting visit was crazy. So you're going to eat in a competition. Who's the guy you're taking with you, or two?
I think normally I would have said Dunk. 100% I would have said Dunk, but Dunk got beat by a freshman this past year in a hot dog eating contest by Lucas Allgaier.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to pick Lucas Allgaier in that.
Hey, he earned it. He earned it. If you could have dinner with one person in the entire world, alive, dead, whatever you want, it's your world. Who are you having dinner with and why?
Oh, wow.
This ain't an easy interview, Logan. These are softball questions, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think Matthew McConaughey. I see like him on podcasts and things like that. I think he would just be so cool to sit down. And one, he can cook, so have him cook a meal or something would be sick. Just sit down and talk to him. I think he would be so cool.
I love it. Did you have a team growing up? Your favorite team professionally, NFL wise? What was your team growing up?
Growing up, my grandpa was a fan of the Steelers, so I took it upon me to be a Steelers fan. Yeah.
Okay, so you're still a Steeler, and that's not bad. Hey, you got Logan Lee's over there.
Logan Lee, YA, KJ.
Yeah, YA's black. Yeah, you got plenty. You got plenty of people over there. Most famous contact in your phone.
Oh yeah, probably Cooper DeJean. Yeah. Cooper DeJean.
Does he beat Kirk Ferentz? Do you have Kirk Ferentz? Do you have Coach's number?
Yeah, I do have Coach's number in there. It depends where you're looking at. The coach in like the actual football world, Coach Ferentz, and the actual like the more modern what everybody else knows from like Instagram and all that stuff, it'd have to be Coop.
Girls would be more impressed with Cooper's number than they would be Coach Ferentz's number, if that makes any sense. Logan, before I let you go, looking ahead to next year, you won't be a Hawkeye, but you're always a Hawkeye. There's very important parts of that offensive line that are moving on to the next level. If any Iowa fans concerned about the offensive line next year, what would you say to them with the guys coming back?
I mean, we got some dudes who can really play. And I think in a lot of situations this past year, we had guys step up in games. USC is one that comes to mind. We lose Dunk, Peep, and then our left guard Bo all in the same game, and we have three guys step up, and they didn't flinch at all. Like they were just ready. And that starts with Coach Barnett, like just setting the tone and the standard for offensive line play. And I think we've kind of brought that back, like what the standard is for offensive line play, especially at Iowa. So every single guy in that room, Coach picked for a reason. We have them here, and they understand what they have to do. And I have full faith that they're going to do a great job next year, and that offensive line play runs through Iowa City once again. So
you'll be busy next year on the weekends. But have you thought about how you'll make sure to catch up on Iowa football? And will it be weird not being part of something you've been part of for so long?
It's 100% going to be weird. I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years now. So I'm definitely going to have to find time, every week to watch games, whether I record it or something, and then, texting my guys that are playing. Just 100% going to stay connected to Iowa football. So.
No, absolutely. Logan, I appreciate the time. Best of luck. Stay healthy, all those kind of things. I got my Dan Campbell bobblehead right here, so we'll be talking. I think you look great in Honolulu blue and silver. But wherever you end up, best of luck. We'll catch up again soon after that. Be well, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. That is Logan Jones, former Iowa football player, which is weird to say, but obviously going to make some good money and play on Sundays in the NFL. So a fantastic conversation with him. When we come back here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, we'll head to the other side of the river and we'll head down to Champaign, where another local standout is a big part of the Illinois basketball program. We'll catch up with Colton Sigel right after this. You're watching OTA on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. There's so many great basketball connections around the Quad Cities, and one of the fun things that I've gotten to kind of watch and see over the last 25 years of doing and covering stuff is local standouts going on and doing great things, and it's been fun. You cover them in high school, you get to know them, and then you watch them kind of do great things. And there's one of those standouts from Rock Island doing good things in Champaign right now. We're joined now by former Rock Island standout, Carthage grad, Colton Sigel joins us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. How are you? Appreciate having me on.
I'm great. You're down in Champaign, and obviously the last name is very familiar for anyone who doesn't know. We'll talk about your old man here in a second, but Rock Island grad, you graduate, great career at Rock Island, good career at Carthage. You want to get back into the basketball, stay in basketball. What are you up to right now? A grad assistant down at Illinois. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I'm a grad assistant, so I'm getting my master's right now, and basically a program assistant under all the assistant coaches, the full-time assistant coaches. Basically, it's a 2-year deal, just learning, trying to help out wherever I can, doing what I'm told, and it's been an amazing experience. Very blessed to be here, very fortunate to be here. Had some good connections with some of the coaches past couple of years, and I was fortunate enough to get a spot. Learn a lot every day. It's crazy. It's hectic. It's something new every day, and I'm loving it. It's awesome.
I saw you down or up over at Iowa City in Carver Hawkeye. Mm. You're running all over the place. Don't get into too many specifics. Don't get in trouble. But what are the kind of things that you do, or your interest? Obviously basketball. What are the kind of things that a grad assistant does at the University of Illinois?
Yeah, so a lot of things I do is prep. So we're doing a lot of pregame analytics for the folders we give to our coaches, a lot of on-court player development stuff, and then I'm kind of getting into the portal stuff side of things. Doing some reports, watching some guys, just basically doing whatever the coaches need me to do. I also do a lot of offensive film, like post game. So break down clips after the game, send them to our coaches, email them, and then during practice, I'm actually on the court practicing with the guys, getting my butt kicked all the time. It's awesome. I'm kind of have my foot in every door here, which is, very, very cool. I'm learning a lot. I don't really have one specific thing I do every day, which is also awesome. Like I said, learn a lot, very fortunate, and just helping wherever I can. And it's been awesome so far. I've been here for 8 months, and something new every day. It's awesome.
We gotta back up because you get on the court at times and run against those guys. What is that like? Obviously, and you could play. You could probably still play. I'm not taking anything away from you, but like, what is it like to run with a top 10 Division I team?
Like I said, I get my butt kicked every day. These guys are unbelievable, strong, physical, quick. I am not any of those, so I tend to get the ball taken from me a lot, getting 0 rebounds, which you've watched me at Rock Island. I'd never got rebounds before, but no, it's awesome. Just do a lot of scout for us. So, just play the scout guys, play against the starters. So obviously don't score. But it's awesome. Stay in shape a little bit, which is always nice. But yeah, like I said, don't really score too many baskets in practice. So
take me through this journey because you grew up in a basketball household. Obviously, your dad, Thom Sigel, got lucky and won a couple state championships, I hear, back in the day. One at Rock Falls and one at Rock Island. Obviously, basketball's in your blood. Played at Rock Island, played for him, bless you, and went to Carthage. When did you want to get into the coaching? Did you know as an 8-year-old like this is cool, this is what I want to do, or when did you see basketball transition to coaching basketball?
I would say probably early in my high school career, going home every night after practice. My mom didn't let us talk basketball at the dinner table, and especially in elementary school, Trey and my dad coming home every day, watching film. I got to ride the bus a lot to games, which, as a little kid is like the coolest thing ever. I just kind of knew I wanted to be a part of basketball. I had an internship after my junior year with the company, and I couldn't sit at a desk for more than 2 hours. So I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Let's try to get into basketball. So, that I kind of knew it early in the high school career, and having my dad and brother, kind of be able to talk to and bounce ideas off of and listen to my dad talk and all the connections he made. I kind of just was a no-brainer in my situation, just to give it a try at least. And if I didn't like it, or if I wasn't good at it, or, I just didn't find the right spot, I would, go down another career path. But I told myself I wanted to at least try it right after graduation at Carthage. So, got blessed to be in state, close to family, at a really good program with really good people around me.
Your dad's a Hall of Famer. We'll be nice to him for a little bit. You're playing for him, so probably you didn't always agree with him while you're playing for him. But what did you pick up from him? Do you hear yourself when you coach? Do you sound like him? What are the things that you did kind of pick up from just being a sponge and probably being around it is easier than anything else?
Yeah. So in high school, I always got mad when he pointed out the little things, as a player, oh, we don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. But seeing at the Division I level where I'm at right now, it's the little things matter. And that's something he, kind of set a standard in when we were Future Rocks in 5th and 6th grade, tucking in the jersey, doing all the little things. And I truly believe that's helped me, get to where I am and see things a little differently. And then he was really smart on the offensive end, the X's and O's. And then also to see the impact he had on a lot of kids' lives in high school. I kind of took it for granted in the moment, but looking back on it, when he gets texts from players like, hey coach, I'm getting married in a couple months. Hey coach, just had a kid, just got a job promotion. Seeing him get super happy and super just happy for his former players is something that I never looked at like that. And I'm starting to see it now. And that's kind of something I'm going to keep with me as I hopefully, move on in the coaching world, and something I won't forget or take for granted again. But yeah, that's the X's and O's he's really good at, but it's more the off court stuff and the stuff he's helped a lot of kids with is something that I'll take with me.
Absolutely. Colton Sigel joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Colton, a grad assistant down in Illinois. That program and Coach Underwood's been at it for a long time and been at Illinois for a while now too. Getting there and seeing what you've seen, what are you like? We talked about being a sponge with your dad before. What is it about that program when you get in there? Obviously, the facilities, the way they do things. Were you surprised by what you saw? Were you overly blown away with what you saw? What was it like getting down there and seeing it firsthand?
I knew it was going to be intense and crazy, like the facilities, the height of the players, like, the traveling and everything. I didn't really understand how intense it was going to be from day one. I got here, I believe June 16th was my first day, and we hit the ground running right then and there. And, Coach Underwood has done an amazing job laying out the blueprint for everybody. And this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And this is what's going to happen. And everybody has bought in from day one. Not one person is not bought in right now. And I feel like that's why we have success right now. It's just also the amount of preparation we have for each game, and each practice is unreal. Nobody has a day off in the office, and that's awesome to have. And then, like I said, the preparation, my work ethic has gotten a lot better. Just being here, getting all the crazy work, but it's unbelievable. I'm still stunned coming into work every day. Like, my office is unreal. Like, I get to share with a bunch of great guys, good colleagues, and I'm working under a lot of smart people that do a really good job with, the kids we have and how to win games.
You look at where you came from, Rock Island, what a great tradition. And it was there before your dad. It's still there now. Your dad obviously helped with it and grew it and all those kind of things. Being from Rock Island and being around, you don't want to say Rocky's a basketball school because the football program is good too, and girls basketball and that kind of stuff. But when you think of Rock Island basketball, it's known. What did that community give you as you move forward on your journey in college basketball or coaching basketball?
Yeah, I truly believe it set a standard. Like, as I said, as kids, like, I remember showing up to tournaments with the Future Rocks, 5th and 6th grade. Everybody was like, "Oh, Rock Island's here, Rock Island's here." Like, everybody in high school had Rocky Week. Everybody got hyped for our games. Go down to Quincy. It's already sold out when we walk into the gym. It taught me from a young age that this standard set, and you better be ready to go every game. I feel like my dad and all his assistants and even my teammates, we had a really good run when he was there, and we set the standard. And they're really good this year. They were good the past couple of years, and it's just kind of like when you go to Rocky, you know that you're going to win a couple basketball games. You're going to do it the right way.
Do you see that downstate even? Like, if you're talking to somebody at Illinois or you run into a recruiter, whatever, and you mention Rock Island, do they? Wow, Rock Island state champion, this, that, and everything else.
Yeah, no, I got down here and everybody's like, "Where are you from?" Rock Island. It was always kind of a small connection here and there, but everybody knows Rock Island. You win a lot of basketball games, chasing Randall, obviously being a big name, Tyler Hall. Like, they know all those guys. All of our coaches recruit a lot of in-states. So Rock Island comes up a time or two, and, I kind of some rivalries kind of here and there. The suburb guys or the central Illinois guys or the southern Illinois guys all here, but, I'll take Rock Island over anybody. So that's just my argument against everybody else.
Colton Sigel joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. You get to do this for this year and obviously one more year after that. And maybe you have no idea the answer to this question, but is there a goal? Is there a thought process? Are you just kind of, sitting back and learning and seeing where it all goes? Are you at the college level? Are you gonna, is high school something you'd be interested? Do you want to coach my 5th graders this weekend? Cause I'm doing a really bad job of it. Like, where's the ultimate goal right now for Colton Sigel?
I would say right now, just enjoy the moment and learn as much as I can. Obviously, it would be easy for me to say, I want to be a college basketball coach, head basketball coach. But I think right now is learn as much as possible. And, if there's an opportunity in a few years to go somewhere else, I hope I have the people around me and the support staff to make the right decision for myself. I want to stay in college for sure right now. I'm not putting off high school or anything, but definitely learn as much as I can. Find my click in basketball, what I'm good at, and then, just move on from there and hopefully help some guys out in their lives, win a couple of basketball games and do it the right way and, make some good connections along the way and, just hopefully match my dad's winning record is the goal, right?
I wanted to ask you, have the conversations been different with your dad since, June 16th? and what are those like? And are there I told you so moments? And obviously, you guys talk basketball a lot. What's the conversations like now with your dad as you continue this journey?
Yeah, so when I was at Carthage, it was more like, hey, what'd you guys work on today? How was class? How's the body feel? All that stuff. And now it's more like he calls me just to check up. Hey, what'd you guys do today? What's your game plan? Blah, 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 like kind of that stuff. And then my mom calls me right after, and she was like, hey, I'm calling to see how you're doing because your dad didn't ask you that. Like, did you eat today? Like, how's class going? Did you fill up the car with gas? It's kind of that's the kind of dynamic right now. And then you'll hear him in the background go, oh, yeah, I hope you're doing well. Kind of that stuff. But no, he calls a lot. He comes to a lot of games. He's coming today. We play Washington today. So he loves it. He's retired right now. Well, he can't golf in the winter, but he comes to a lot of games. He watches all the games and probably rewatches a lot of games. Sends me his opinions, obviously, but it's awesome to have him just to kind of talk to. Definitely.
Love it. Give some fun questions before I let you go. Give me your best Thom Sigel story. It can be on the court. It can be off the court. Don't get me canceled. I know your dad's probably watching this sweating as he watches you think. Give me your best Thom Sigel story.
Pretty funny one. I was I want to say freshman in high school, summer before my sophomore year. And we're in Ames, Iowa for an AU tournament with Quad City Elite. And Dane Hodge is on the team. Cole Rusk was on the team, obviously.
Okay.
I just got out of a cast. I had a broken wrist, and it's our first game at like 8 a.m. in Ames, Iowa on a Friday. And he's drawing up a play. I run it wrong, and he punches straight through the clipboard in Ames, Iowa at 8 a.m. And my wrist, I just got out of a cast. I run the play wrong. He punches straight through the clipboard. A couple hours later, Dane's mom goes to Dick's Sporting Goods and buys him a new clipboard. And that's just the ongoing story now. My mom was so mad at him. It was that's the funniest. Definitely for sure.
Oh,
all the guys.
We could do a whole segment.
Going on and on.
I was gonna say we could do a whole show, but he's not here to defend himself. Maybe next time we do this, we'll have your dad here to defend himself. I just so you know, I coach fifth grade. I told this story on the show last week. I got a technical in fifth grade last weekend, and I kid you not, Colton. All I said was travel. It was Sunday morning, first game of the day, and like I just. Good, well played. I couldn't believe it, but and now I get constant hard time for that. So I don't think I'm ever gonna live that down either. Who's the best shooting Sigel?
I'll say Trey. I'll be honest. Trey was a much more consistent shooter. Everybody in their primes, though, my dad has the best looking shot and probably will make the most. Seriously. Okay. So I'm honestly probably third, which is embarrassing to say, but I'll be honest. I'm probably third. Trey's got all the numbers and stats.
Who's the best golfer in the Sigel family?
Me by far.
Okay, you're not even giving that one up.
I think my dad beat me last summer. Trey hasn't beat me in a few summers. I'll throw him under the bus right now. He hasn't beat me in a while.
All right. Well, you're being honest because you said you were the worst shooter, so you might as well take the best golfer. Who's your dad's favorite player he ever coached, not named Sigel? Because I think obviously when you coach your kids, it's probably that. Is it easy just to say Chasen?
That would be the easiest answer. I'm not going to say Chasen. I got to really think. Truthfully, I think it was Justin Sharp. Like the stories I've heard him talk about Justin Sharp and the person he was, the player, the competitor, and how he showed up every day to practice. Like truthfully, I think if you ask him to take away Chasen and Tyler Hall and like me and my brother, it's probably Justin Sharp. Seriously,
I like it. That's a great answer. Couple more. When you get back to the Quad Cities, and it's not like you're some way distant, far away place. You're not like overseas or anything. So, but what's your, I always said to Chasen I knew loved Alfano's pizza and Whitey's. I'd always hook him up with those kind of things. Or we'd meet there or whatever. What's your favorite eats here in the Quad Cities?
I tend to see myself going to Hungry Hobo a lot. Hungry Hobo,
a fine sponsor of the show. That's a great answer.
No, Hungry Hobo is awesome. My best friend Eli Bowie, his dad is the owner. Yeah. So shout out Hungry Hobo. It's the best. I love Hungry Hobo. And then obviously got to go to Whitey's. You got to go to Whitey's.
Yeah, no, I get you. If you could have dinner with one person anywhere, dead, alive, whatever you want to do. Who is it and why?
I would go to dinner with Jordan Spieth, and we would go eat at TBC Deer Run because they have the best buffalo chicken wrap I've ever had.
Okay, I like how you pulled everything back
And then
together.
we go play 18 after. We would go play a few holes.
And who would win?
Him by a million.
Okay, good. Just making
Him
sure
by a million.
this wasn't completely
Yeah.
fantasy. I wanted to check that.
No, yeah.
Coolest contact in your phone?
Chase and Randall, definitely.
Good answer.
I got
Good
you.
answer.
Yeah, I got Chase's
Good
number,
answer
yeah.
as well. And in the last as I let you go, kind of just these last 7 months, put in perspective what it's been like, and then obviously, I don't know if you even grew up an Illini fan. Did you?
I mean, Bruce Weber him and my dad always had a good connection, friendship, but I've never been a huge Illinois fan. Truthfully,
Okay. Shh, don't
just
say
watch
that too
basketball.
loud.
Yeah, I know.
And get
I
yourself in
know.
trouble. What's
I
it
know.
like being in Illini now and these last 7 months for you?
Unbelievable. Every day it's a blessing. I'm super thankful. It's, everybody, you go on social media, everybody's talking about Illinois basketball in the state. You drive down some of these roads and you see Illinois billboards. You see, you go to Target with some of the players. It's, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And it impacts a lot of people's lives. And just to be a part of it, like I said, extremely grateful for the coaches that brought me here. I definitely didn't I earned it, but I didn't in a sense that my basketball knowledge was not anywhere close to where I think it was. But just seeing all the lives it impacts, the games are sold out, winning basketball games, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, everything that goes into it, just to be a small part of something really special is something I won't take for granted. I don't know, like I said, extremely blessed and thankful to be here.
Keep doing big things. Don't mess it up. Okay, knucklehead?
I will.
All right.
I will.
I appreciate you. We'll catch up again real soon. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Colton Sigel, grad assistant down at the University of Illinois, doing great things. Great to see him back at Carver Hawkeye a few weeks ago. And the Sigels know how to coach, but they're really good people as well. I hope I got to go answer all the text messages I'm probably going to get from his old man after that. That's probably going to get me in trouble too. So we got much more to get to. You're watching OTA on a Friday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We are set for a fantastic weekend in the world of sports. Everyone looking forward to that Super Bowl next weekend, and that's always fun. But for some of us, the Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowls, is this weekend. The Royal Rumble taking center stage in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's break it all down with two of our wrestling experts, Cowboy Don Umland and Nick Bull from Card Subject to Change podcast. Hi, fellas. How are you?
What's going on?
Let's get the
weekend started.
It's such a fun weekend, and I want to start there because, and I mentioned it's in Saudi Arabia, and the time of it's weird. I don't love it. I'll start with you, Bully. Obviously, you love Royal Rumble. It's one of the best weekends, best nights of the year. Your thoughts of this year's Royal Rumble? Am I being too cranky that it's in Saudi Arabia and it's 1:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday?
I don't think so. I think, that's a legit gripe for a lot of wrestling fans.
Myself personally, I'll be at a junior high wrestling meet till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So like once 1 o'clock hits, I'm turning my phone off. I want to avoid everything and just go straight home and be able to watch it. But other than that, like I don't mind Saturday afternoon pay-per-views or early Saturday evening pay-per-views when they do these overseas ones. Do I wish they were in Saudi? No, I wish they were somewhere else. But I honestly don't mind the 1 o'clock start time.
Yeah, Don, you and just thoughts coming into the Rumble, this year's Rumble, all that kind of stuff. Your thoughts heading in?
Yeah, you kind of get used to them being in the evening because it kind of wraps up the day, and you kind of look forward to that night. It's a little odd, but I guess we since it's only once or twice, at least I hope it's not going to become a regular thing. We'll adjust, like Boley said. We'll just got to turn off social media and then get ready for that night when we'll get around to watching it.
That's the main thing is just, and I've already, you have different groups of friends that love wrestling, and you're already telling them this week, like, hey, don't text me. I don't want to know. And I'm like you guys. I mean, I live on social media, and I'm shutting it down at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and later that evening after a bunch of youth basketball and all that kind of stuff, get together and watch what should be a fantastic event. I would argue that besides WrestleMania, this is the best night of the year for professional wrestling, and because WrestleMania is 2 nights and all that kind of stuff, but I would say the matches themselves, it might be my favorite night of the year when it comes to professional wrestling. Bully, are you there with that? Where do you put the Royal Rumble when it comes to the nights of wrestling throughout the calendar?
I mean, obviously WrestleMania is number one. I think we can all agree with that, whether it's 1 night or 2 nights, that whole event's number one. SummerSlam's kind of been always touted as the second biggest show of the year. It's treated like WrestleMania Junior, and now it gets the 2-night treatment. So that could be in the conversation, but I think the fact that it's the Royal Rumble, we get 2 of them with the men and the women, and it's kind of like the Daytona 500 of pro wrestling. It kicks off the WrestleMania season, right? Okay. It gets the WrestleMania season into full gear. We're going to get our next 3 to 6 month storylines kind of laid out in front of us. We'll start building for the biggest show. But I think the unpredictability, lumped in this year with, you look at this list of men, which is, just talking about the men's Rumble, I could pick 10 guys on that list who could legit win. Yeah. Or I could make an argument for him winning. So it's a wide open field. But I think it has to be considered probably number 2. And if you want to put Survivor Series 3, and then Money in the Bank for me, I lump that in. That's a big 4 to me. Survivor Series really doesn't mean anything anymore to me. Money in the Bank to me is a bigger show, more implications. So I put that in the big 4. But Royal Rumble definitely probably right behind WrestleMania.
And you look at it, Don, and you and I talk all the time, there's people who love storylines, there's people that love wrestling and the actual matches, there's people who love both. I'm probably more of a storyline guy than I am a wrestling guy, but I love both of them. Sometimes with me probably having ADHD, sometimes I need that. I need that, like, every couple minutes there's something new and something fun going on. I think that's what what Royal Rumble presents is for. It's just something different and surprises and nonstop. You can't really okay, this match is going on for the first couple minutes. I'm going to go get some food or whatever. You have to stick around for the Royal Rumble. Am I wrong?
No, because you get that countdown, every 90 seconds or 2 minutes, whatever it's at, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just never know who's going to walk through that curtain. I would say with Bully, it's probably ranks right behind WrestleMania for me. Slam's right there. But, Elimination Chambers become relevant because it's the last chance.
You're only saying that because you're going to the Elimination Chamber this year. Look at him. You're such a mark. You're doing it just because you're going.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not.
Yes.
So that's the reason why. I wasn't invited, Bully. I thought he would invite me, but he didn't even invite me.
I wasn't either.
He's going with my brother. He's not even going with me. He's going with my brother.
You guys know where you're sitting at yet?
We are one section over from where the camera faces straight ahead, and we're just one section over.
Nice.
We have to pay for it. That's for damn sure. But we're going to have great seats for it in the United Center. It's going to be I can't
that's
wait.
That's why I'm not going, is because they had to pay for it.
But it's
they
cool because I've never seen one of those. It's another one to check off. I haven't seen it live. So.
No, I think it will be great. Okay, so let's look at this Royal Rumble. I think Bully nailed it. Like, there's so many. Let's start with the men's. There's so many people that can win this. We'll get to a winner in a second, but let's kind of build it up a little bit with what I love about WrestleMania season the most is surprises. And actually, I'll go this as far as saying I'm kind of annoyed right now because they announced a couple weeks on Raw that Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble, which I get that, and you want the draw and all that kind of stuff, but it'd be cool to hear his music hit and people go crazy. And then the other day on McAfee, they gave McAfee the Brock Lesnar is going to be in. Again, cool that you know that he's going to be in there, but boy, to hear his music go, you kind of get that pop. But there's always surprises, and I think Triple H is on record as saying there's going to be a ton of surprises in the men's Royal Rumble. Who are some people, Bully, that you're eyeing, interested in when it comes to the surprise factor of the Royal Rumble?
Obafemi. If I had to make a list of 5 guys who I thought would win or think would win, he would be number 5.
Wow.
They kind of sowed the seeds on Saturday night's main event. The last person to lay Drew out was Obafemi when Drew interfered on Oba and Cody's match from Saturday night's main event. That was from John Cena's last show. So I kind of thought then, hey, if he doesn't win, I think he is going to come out and have like a showcase where he gets 5, 6, 7 eliminations before he maybe meets up with who he's going to face at Mania or his first feud on the main roster. But that to me is a guy that it's on my radar. I think is going to have a big night, whether he wins it or not.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great. Don surprises when it comes to the men's Royal Rumble.
I don't know if it's as much of a surprise anymore, but it's going to be damn exciting when he waltzes out as number 30 as his first appearance since 2018. The 6-time 55-year-old man, Chris Jericho. I think
is he a 6-time champion or a 6-time 55-year-old man?
you take your pick. You never know with him. But
go ahead.
If that's we get that countdown. I don't know how long he's going to stick around, but I would assume he's going to close his career with some WWE, and he can make some great storylines for a little while. So that's who I think is going to be the big surprise entrance in the men.
Any other tidbits? Any other keep an eye out for this? We haven't seen LA Knight in a while. I don't know if he's healthy. I guess we should ask this too. Ask both of you. Seth Rollins. I mean, obviously he's hurt. Everyone knows that he was hurt and then really wasn't, but this time he's actually hurt. He was on ESPN again this week saying he's not going to be in it. I don't know if he sold. People think he sold it too much. Not. Anyways, any chance of Seth? Nick, we'll go with you first.
I'm going to go no. And here's why. And it's not a knock on Seth. He's not needed for the Rumble. There's enough wide open to it. He's not needed. Now, do I want Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? Hell yes, I do. But he, in my opinion, is not needed for this Royal Rumble match. If he wants to show up on Raw or make an appearance at Elimination Chamber, I get that. But to me, it just gets lost in the shuffle here if he comes back.
I agree. Great point. Don?
I think there's a developing storyline where he is going to appear, and it isn't going to be at the Rumble. I agree. I think there is something with him and Austin Theory, being the hidden guy that came in to help out the crew. I'm theorizing here, but I think there's some type of storyline. He's going to develop a team that's going to battle, the Vision. And I think Theory and others are going to be involved in it.
No,
so we'll see that play out over time.
Do we see Powerhouse Hobbs this weekend?
It's a distinct possibility.
I think we do.
I didn't think about it.
I think we do. And I wanted to mention one more name before we, picked who we thought the winner was. Keep an eye on Finn Balor. when was the last time you seen a wrestler, say they want to be in the Rumble, and then the power that be, the governing body, I think it was Pierce that told them, well, the Rumble's full. Well, there was only like 16 guys at the time signed up for the Rumble. So he's not in the Rumble now, but he's going to find a way into the Rumble, and they've got big plans for him. He's had 2 excellent television matches the past few weeks. His match with Punk on Raw what was very good. Yeah. So I'm not saying he's going to win it, but I think maybe he has a blow-off with like Dominic Mysterio at Mania to kind of leave the Judgment Day. But look for Finn Balor to do something big and to get in this match and to have a program at Mania.
You said the name, so I got to ask Don. Like, is Dominic Mysterio ready to go? Is he a guy we can see come back at the Rumble as well?
If he's not, I would throw one other into the hat. As I think if Sammy doesn't beat McIntyre, does he find a way into the Rumble and potentially win it? If you really want to shock some people, man. So I'm not going to rule him out either, because I think Styles and Gunther are going to be in the Rumble, but we'll talk about that later. But I think Zayn could, because I don't think he'll beat McIntyre, but we'll table that. But I think he could make it into the Rumble.
I will say this about Rollins real fast before we kind of make some picks. He brings such a great storyline with so many different people. You still have Rollins and probably Roman eventually. I still think you have, obviously there's something there with Punk in him that's going to continue. Now he has the Vision, and he has Paul Heyman, and he has Braun Breaker, and like there's so many great ways you can go with Seth. I don't think he comes back because of what you said, Bully. They don't really need to overshadow it with everything else going on. But I think they need him back because there's so many different ways you can go with him. Do they need? I don't mean need him back. They got so many good other storylines, but I'm intrigued by that as well.
Ideally, if I was going to bring him back, I'd bring him back at the end of Elimination Chamber to stare down Punk after Punk wins and retains in the Elimination Chamber. Punk celebrating in Chicago, then you hear that music. I mean, that's the match everybody wants to see.
That's it.
We want Punk and Rollins for one last time, for the whole thing. We got it last year on the debut of Netflix on Raw, and due to injury, storyline, or whatever, we haven't been able to get back to that moment yet. And I think the wrestling world is owed, due to the fact, the history of these guys, and now we come to learn that they've gotten along when they've worked together. These two can have a story to tell that a lot of fans are interested in, whether you're a diehard or not. So I think that's the match that we all want to see. I don't know if we get there this year.
No, I agree. I guess when you start with who wins this, and Donna and I talked earlier this week, and I always go to, okay, who's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania? What is that main event going to be? Because that helps set the tone for who's going to win this. Now, obviously, there still is Elimination Chamber. There's still a lot you can change and move on with that. And also the thing they always throw in, and with the roster the way it is it a one-on-one title match at WrestleMania? Or do you have a three-way, or can you make this thing even bigger? I'm a big fan of WrestleMania main events being one-on-one. Like, I'm not a huge fan of them being three ways. I think it's WrestleMania. I think it should be one-on-one, that kind of thing. So that's where I start when I'm like, who's going to win this? I go to, who are the champions? What match do they want? Now, they took it off Cody. So any thought, and I'm glad, I hope it's out of their head. I don't need to see Roman and Cody for the third straight year at WrestleMania. So anyways, that's where I start. I guess I'm going to go Don first. Give me maybe your final four, if you have it, because I know you do, because you're a dork. And then give me your. He's probably got the whole thing. He's probably got.
We're all marks, gosh darn it.
How does this play out, Donnie? Let's hear it.
Let's consult the old sheet here that I wrote out. I think the final four are Breaker, Rhodes, Gunther, and Roman Reigns.
Say it one more time. Breaker, Rhodes,
Gunther? Rhodes, Gunther, and Reigns are my final four.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, look at who's on the cover. I think Breaker is the obvious choice to win it, but I'm not going to sleep on Gunther, who I think could lose earlier in the night, whether or not, and then win, because Rhodes eliminated him the last 2 years. I think he could take out Rhodes this year, and I think he could win it, and then you could get Gunther and Punk in a rematch at Mania. Could.
So who do you got winning it?
I'm going to go – if I'm going to pick somebody right now, I'm going to go Breaker.
That's what we want. That's why you're here, is because we want you to pick somebody right now. So you're going.
But
who?
I'm giving you a possible side storyline that Gunther could find a way to win this via some things earlier in the night. But if you're asking me now, I've got Breaker, and then my honorable mention guys that could be sticking around near the end would be Finn, Zayn, and Damian Priest. But I'm going to go with Breaker.
And okay, we'll go to Bully, because I know Obafemi is going to be in your mix. Kind of see how do you see the contenders? You started this thing by saying there's 10. I don't have to give me all 10, but you're right. There's a ton. How does this narrow down? What's maybe the final four? Who wins this thing?
My pick's Braun Breaker. You know, if I had to put money on it, it's Braun Breaker, and I see Braun Breaker taking the belt off Punk at Mania. I know so much can change. I know they wanted the belt on Braun Breaker earlier, but they wanted to wait to a bigger event, more memorable. Nothing more memorable than headlining your first WrestleMania and beating Punk. Let's not forget, like, when Rollins comes back, yeah, he's got beef with Punk, but when the stuff going down with the Vision and how that's going to shake out, it's going to be very intriguing, but that's not besides the point. If I don't pick Breaker, it's going to be Roman Reigns. Reverting back to something you said, Matt, I was in favor of Roman Cody 3 with the fact if Roman went over, you got your full-fledged heel turn after by Cody, and then you killed two birds with one stone.
If they would do that, if they will make him a heel,
but they're not going to.
I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, but go ahead.
That would have been my preferred way. I would have been fine if that was the main event.
Okay.
I'm also with you. I hate the multi-man main events. You know, that's what Money in the Bank. That's what Rumble's for. If you want to do it for the IC, the US, and the tag, have a triple threat or four-way, I get it. But I want one-on-one matches for my main events.
Yeah. I agree.
Final four, I'll go Roman. I'll go Braun. I like how you think with Gunther, Don, but I'm not going to have Gunther. He's my guy, but I'm not picking him to be in the final four. Cody, I hope anybody but Cody wins, by the way. I just want Cody to have a different path for once.
Yep.
And who else could, look
Obafemi?
for a guy like LA Knight or Joe Hendry to make a deep run, but not to win.
I like it. I would say when it comes to eliminations, I think Obafemi's that guy that comes in and just wrecks shop. And everybody's like, wow, he had 10 eliminations, those kind of things. I can see something.
There's going to
and
be a
does
moment.
Brock Lesnar? Go ahead, Tommy. Or Donnie. Go ahead.
I think there's going to be a moment with Oba where he's going to have a ton of eliminations, and then he's going to hit a wall with either somebody like Breaker, who would legitimize. If you're going to knock him out, it's got to be something that's legitimate, takes him out of the ring.
Does Brock Lesnar show up? I mean, he does. He's in. And not make the final four? How does that? You know how they love him. I like him. I'm not saying that in a negative way, but you're not going to.
I think my fingers are crossed that Gunther retires AJ Styles, but AJ has said it could be his last WWE match. Everybody knows he's going to go make a run on TNA afterwards, and nobody's got a problem with it. If he wants to go finish in TNA, that's great. But Gunther is going to beat him on Saturday at the Rumble. He's going to retire AJ Styles. Gunther's also in the Rumble match. I think we're going to get the Crossroads. We got it teased a couple years ago. Now we're going to get it. We're going to get Lesnar Gunther at Mania.
I'm good with that too.
And those two may eliminate each other and have a wild brawl in the back. So those two eliminating each other really doesn't hurt anything, builds their feud. That's where I see Gunther. That's why I didn't pick him to go to the Final Four, and why I didn't pick Lesnar either. But
that makes sense.
Really confident that Finn Balor is going to be there in Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns.
I'll say this, and you guys both have Breaker. I'm going to go Roman. I don't know why, but I think WrestleMania is about selling the most tickets in the main event, and I don't see a WrestleMania that he's in without being in the main event of WrestleMania. Maybe I'm wrong. And I agree with Breaker. I'm okay with it. And think about this too, boys. And you mentioned it too, Bully. Go back to the first Raw of the new year, the anniversary show, whatever, on Netflix. Punk beat Breaker. And that was kind of a way to like, okay, Punk got his one over Breaker, and now it's Breaker's turn to win, and it might be on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. So I can't see that as well.
Breaker got the first one. Breaker pinned Punk in the War Games match at Survivor
Series.
Series.
Right. But that was after this nobody remembers because of the stomp, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But Braun used that as leverage on the build up to the Netflix match. But yeah. I honestly don't know. Like, we kind of got things etched out on our heads, but like, what's going on with like Bronson Reed and Logan Paul and Austin Theory? They're going to have something to do. I mean, they're all united on this front for Braun Breaker to win. Something's going to happen along the way, right?
It's going to be so good.
Something that's going to be, the rubber's going to hit the road in the ring, and it's like, hey, I kind of want to win this too.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yes. Bottom line is the men's Rumble is going to be amazing. Breaker. I'll go Roman just so that I'm not the same as everybody else as well. Let's look at the ladies, and then we'll get into the other three matches. Ladies, it's a good field. It's not as stacked, and I can't see as many people winning it. Your thoughts, I guess, headline-wise, when you look at the Women's Royal Rumble. Don, we'll go with you since you're wearing the goofy cowboy hat still. Your wife is so proud of you.
I'll take my hat off for you. Okay.
I just think
Fine.
I'm scared that made it easier for you to take your shirt off eventually. So I don't know if that's a good thing.
We better be off air by then. Holy cow.
All right, what do you think of the ladies one?
I think the women's is a little more clear cut. I think it's going to be Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan.
And that's the surprise back, correct?
Yes, I think she's the surprise back. I don't want to see what happened to. I shouldn't say I don't want to see it. If Belair wins, she comes back kind of like Charlotte. It's a big return, and she wins. I think this is probably Liv Morgan's time to shine and win her first. So I'm going with Liv, and I've got Liv, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Perez. Roxanne is the final four. Is who I have.
Bully, as you said, don't give me Cody for the men. Is it wrong that there's a couple like don't give me Charlotte and I love her, but don't give me Rhea Ripley? Like, I don't need those two to win. Am I wrong or no? Yes, with Charlotte.
I think so with Charlotte. Rhea is the biggest female star on the roster, and questionably, top three or whatever on the whole roster, men and women's. She doesn't need it. I think it's Bianca Belair. She's been gone long enough, coming back from a hand injury, and I think they want to have the Bianca Belair Jade Cargill showcase at WrestleMania, which hey, I'm cool with that. I got no problem. I know the knock on Jade is, she's green and doesn't have a lot of experience. Something leads me to believe that they have confidence in working with each other. And this goes back to the feud where, Naomi pushed Jade off the into the car, and that's what turned Naomi heel. I mean, it kind of has its roots back there, but I think Bianca Belair is who's going to walk out of there as the Women's Rumble winner. I look for Raquel Rodriguez to have a showcase Rumble match, whether it's eliminations or dominance, kind of the Obafemi thing. I don't think she'll win, but I think she will make a name for herself and get over. But yeah, Don mentioned Roxanne Perez. I think she's in the final four. Love Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan, definitely. I think if Bianca doesn't win, she'd probably be the next favorite if there were odds. But yeah, look for Raquel to make some noise. And I mean, it's kind of hard with surprises anymore, right? WWE's got TNA locked up. All the NXT people that have been pulled up. It's like, I don't know what the biggest surprise would be other than maybe Bianca Belair returning from her injury.
No, absolutely. You look at it too, Bully, and you mentioned, do you think Raquel Rodriguez will be in? Because she has a match earlier in the night, doesn't she?
Yes, she does, and I think she will. I think she'll be in. Yes.
Gotcha. Any other surprises? I can't even think of really any off the cuff kind of surprise.
I think when we're talking about Obafemi having the most eliminations, I think Jordan Grace is probably going to be a future challenger to Jade Cargill down the line. Nia Jax set the standard with 9 eliminations a year ago. I think they're going to give a big Jordan Grace push in this match. She won't win it, but she's going to make a mark where we're going to remember her. And then the other guy I think that I'm really looking forward to watching in the match, if these are my Iron Man people, they're going to stay around a while. I think Lyra Valkyria will have a big appearance because Bailey's always had a long appearance in Rumbles, and Dragunov. I can't wait to see Dragunov in the Rumble. I think he's going to be in there. I'm freaking out.
Would you guys be cool with Dragunov coming in as number 1 and then, help me, the U.S. champion?
Carmelo
Hayes being 2.
Dude, they've had so many great matches. They've had so many great matches.
And I think those 2 have one more at WrestleMania for the U.S. Championship one more time. And I think people sign me up. Like, that's one of those things where I talk about liking storylines, and then also, like, they can wrestle. If they could have they could do an Iron Man match, which I'm not a huge fan of because it's 60 straight minutes, but I would watch the heck out of that. And I think it'd be crazy and really good as well. Let's move on to the other couple matches. We've talked about Gunther and AJ. I'm really conflicted with this. I'm not conflicted because it was going to be his last year and last go, but his contract's up, and you can't have Gunther retire Goldberg, retire Cena, and then lose to AJ Styles. It just doesn't add up, right?
No, in my opinion, you can't.
Unless this whole
unless
thing
like AJ pulls something,
Yeah. Or this Nakamura post was just a big swerve, to make us think that he's done after tonight, which, hey, I don't put anything past anybody anymore. And if Styles somehow does win and survives, let's say, Gunther's going to be on a tear in that Rumble. So, but maybe it is. And, if Styles wants to go off into the sunset and this is it and go do his, we were talking in TNA, it makes sense, but the only out would be is like he beats him somehow, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Gunther's going to win.
I think it's different because I don't think, and I like AJ Styles a lot, I don't know if AJ Styles deserves what John Cena got. John Cena was a lifelong WWE guy and got the farewell tour. AJ Styles is, and what I say by that is, like, you just mentioned it earlier. TNA is probably where he needs to do his going away tour because that's where he spent the majority of his career. So, like, that's the way I look at it. I mean, everyone's like they can do a go goodbye tour like they did with Cena. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but if he's going to do that, go to where it made him, and that's TNA. And so I just can't see Gunther retiring Cena and then at the next main pay-per-view having Gunther lose. I don't think it's possible.
I don't either, because you've got him as being the legend killer, and the ultimate legend killer match is going to be down the line when him and Randy Orton meet someday.
Hopefully,
he's going to keep this
well
mystique.
Down the line.
Yeah, well done. But this mystique of him taking out legends should not end Saturday night.
Okay, prediction. Who wins? Gunther, AJ Styles. Bully.
Gunther wins and continues his death march. This is his new reality. Him beating Cena, and I'm a big Gunther mark. He's my guy and has been for years. Him beating Cena is more important than the WWE title or the World Heavyweight Championship right now.
1,000%. Completely agree.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer already, and he's a 2-time World Heavyweight Champ. Would love to see him get a rematch with Punk down the line sometime. That never happened. But he's beating Styles, and then on to Chamber Mania.
Donnie, you think AJ wins, don't you?
No, I'd like to, but in reality, I think the logic is going to be as Gunther is going to win, and that you can't blow that mystique now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just it's too in everybody's memory right now. So
yeah, no, I agree.
I'll go with that.
Other matches.
Can I say one thing,
yeah,
Daz?
Absolutely.
This match, these guys were wrestling each other 3 years ago, the last time WWE was in town for a house show around the holidays. The match with Gunther was the IC champ at the time, and they were kind of previewing that for a Mania, and then I think AJ got hurt. But Gunther and AJ, it was an excellent match. So I'm
there.
definitely looking forward.
We
to
were
this
there.
Yeah, you were there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I mean, to give Styles his flowers, he's as influential a wrestler in the last whatever amount of years. He's a champion in WWE. He's a champion in TNA. He's been an IWGP champion twice, which is hard for an American to do. Rarely happens. I mean, the guy is.
And when I said
right
earlier,
up there is,
when I said earlier, I didn't mean that as a I just think you have a going away tour. Like John Cena is WWE. That's what he's been. They've never turned him heel to the very end. AJ has been to those places. I think he's a professional wrestler. And so maybe the going away tour goes to TNA and all those kind of things. Let's get to McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, especially there where Sami's going to be in Saudi Arabia, all those kind of things. Boy, they've done a good job building this quickly. Like, I thought they did a good job with he hasn't been a champion, and that was probably a month or two ago, and then kind of going with it. Again, I go back to you can't give Drew the championship and have him beat Cody and then take it off of him right away. So Drew's got to win this one, correct, Bully?
I mean, if you shook a magic 8-ball up and looked at it, all signs would say yes. I mean, Sammy's like 0 for his last 12 or 13 against Drew McIntyre. You know, this could be something maybe where Drew pulls it out at the end, you know, and Sammy leaves it out there. And maybe Sammy shows up and wins that Rumble and gets another match of Drew. I don't know. If they were ever going to pull the trigger on Sami Zayn winning a Rumble, this would be the time with the time and place. But I just don't think they would do Drew McIntyre like that. So I think Drew is going to win the match. But Sammy is going to give him everything and more. I mean, I don't see a weak link on this card. Like I'm pumped because the Rumble matches, but the undercard is going to be just as good.
Don, your thoughts on Drew McIntyre and
Sami
Zayn?
And Bully, I'll let you chime in on this too. Let's say McIntyre wins. Somebody's going to have to face him down the line for the belt. And how does that circulate out of this? Or does Zayn, you know, is this the time for Sammy that's never occurred? And, you know, and then Drew goes on a rampage of which we've seen before. You know, he's kind of the unlucky loser at the worst of times. Does that happen again? So there's a couple of paths here, but at some point, if McIntyre wins, somebody's going to have to face him at Mania, assuming he holds on to it, you know, at that point or wherever he's going to be. So I don't know. Sure. I think McIntyre wins, but you want to give us a great spin and then he gets in, you know, Sammy gets into the Rumble and he's down there near the end, we're going to be all going bonkers.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
It's really.
That's why I had him and Finn and Priest as maybe the wild cards being near the end, and you know, and I had Ripley. I don't even have her in the final four, and then the women's because there's other choices that I think we're looking at. So.
Is the last match Raquel versus not last match, but the last one we haven't talked about? It's Raquel versus Valkyria. Not Valkyria, excuse me,
Vaquer.
Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer.
We talk. I mean, I think Raquel's been impressive the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if you know how you talk about like the chase to a championship, and then how you are as a champion. Has Vaquer's reign been overly impressive, or is it kind of getting stale? Bully.
I'm not real. I don't know if it's resonating. Let's put it that way. I think in my crystal ball, Rodriguez is going to beat Vaquer, and I think we're going to get Liv Morgan and Rodriguez at Mania.
Ooh.
And have them is where I see this going.
Or
That's
Monday
totally
after
fine.
Rumble. Monday after Rumble, like they're celebrating. One's the champion, one has the main event at WrestleMania, and it's like, well, it's not gonna be against me, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, maybe it is, and it ends up being gosh darn it.
It's
I
going to
hate it
be
when
like
Don gets
Diesel,
one.
Shawn Michaels back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
When
they're
they
even
broke
calling
up.
her. They're calling her Big Sexy, just like Big Daddy.
They
Cool.
are
Yeah.
calling her Big Sexy.
Yeah. So
Bully.
if you're going to have Morgan win this thing, I think that makes for an intriguing storyline. So that's
I would
where
agree.
see
Don.
that going.
I would agree.
All right. So do you think you're gonna go with Raquel winning, Bully?
The match?
Yeah.
Nah, I think Vaquer is going to retain. I do.
I like it. All right, boys. What matches first? What matches last? And then we got to go. This is going longer than I thought it was good, but it's been really good. If anybody's not enjoying the hell out of this, then you have the issue, not my show. It's on you. It's not me. What's first? What's last?
I think the women's Rumble's first, in my opinion, because you can work the women's match in like right before the men's Rumble, like that Vaquer.
And the
match.
men's has to be last, right?
Yes.
Men's is last. If the women's isn't first, I would throw Drew and Sammy out there first.
Yeah, and that gives them the most time.
Yeah, if you're not going to go
they hop
first
back
with
in.
a Rumble, you
If you
want
don't
to be a first
if you
on the
don't go
card.
Rumble, if you don't bookend it, I would throw Drew and Sammy out there, then the women's Rumble, and then you get Gunther AJ, then you get Vaquer and Raquel, then the men's Rumble.
It's gonna be
I might
so good.
flip that and go Styles and Gunther to open because then they get the longer break.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because they're gonna,
I like that
because
too.
they're going to have to. That's a great kickoff. Seeing those two come out to open, because you can throw Zayn and McIntyre in as that midway teaser, knowing that those guys are going to come back later.
Let's open with Gunther. Let's open with Gunther and AJ.
Styles.
I'll tear it down.
Why? My biggest question is why is Don Umland and Nick Bull not writing for WWE? This is all good stuff. I think they got to figure it out.
We have come up with more ideas than I've seen so far on Unreal Season 2. This show is not exposing the wrestling business. It's exposing how bad WWE creative is.
Oh wow, there it is. Boys, don't text me during the day on Saturday. We'll talk Saturday evening as we go. And enjoy Rumble weekend. And Don, thank you for keeping your shirt on. We appreciate that.
Hey, this has been great. Saturday's going to be a great time, and then then after that show, it's kind of we get to Monday, and we're rolling.
Road to WrestleMania. Fellas, this was good. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you both soon. Hey, real quick, I almost didn't do it. Plug the podcast, Bully. Card subject to change.
Card Subject to Change podcast. Myself and my friend, the Wizard CZ, Chris Zach, host it. And that can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you find your podcasts, on YouTube. And we are on the Wrestling Society Network. New episodes Sundays at 6:30.
Love it. Check it out. It's good stuff. Fellas, we'll talk to you guys this weekend. Don't ruin anything. No spoilers. We'll see you soon.
Lips are sealed.
All right. See you, boys. That is Don Umland and Nick Bull. If you don't like wrestling, then you shouldn't have been watching that long anyways. That's on you. I warned you. It's going to be a fun show. We had a bunch of good stuff, and then we finished with a whole bunch of wrestling. We'll wrap up the week here on OTA coming up right after one quick break. We'll see you then.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. The weekend is nearly here. Well, it is for me at least. Hopefully you guys have a short afternoon and can join me on the weekend as well. Fun show today. Logan Jones, the Rimington Award winner, former Hawkeye, soon to be NFL draft pick from the Iowa Hawkeyes, one of the best centers, the best center in college football, joined us to start the show. We also caught up with Colton Sigel, former Rock Island standout, who is a grad assistant down for the Fighting Illini basketball team. The Illini have won 10 straight, and they get Nebraska coming up. Huge game on Sunday, so check that out as well. And then, that's right, it's Royal Rumble weekend. We talked all about it with Nick Bull from Card Subject to Change podcast, and also our good friend Don Umland. So a packed show. If you missed any of it, go back and check it out. If you missed anything this week, a full week as usual here on Off the Air, go back, check it out, and enjoy the weekend. So much to get to. Some great college basketball. You got Iowa and UCLA women. You have Illinois and Nebraska men. You have Iowa heading to, is it Oregon first? I think it's Oregon first, then Washington. Just a lot of great stuff. So enjoy the weekend. We'll be back here on Monday with a whole bunch more great things to get to. And once again, we want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to do this. Excited to welcome a new sponsor in the upcoming days to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We'll tell you about that probably next week as well. So, but could not do it without the fantastic sponsors. In fact, I'll tell you this, last week and into this week, I spent a lot of the week at Godfather's in Silvis, kind of running the show through there because of my internet. So if you're looking for some pizza tonight, go there. In fact, and also I'm going to Hungry Hobo right now for lunch and to get ready for the Royal Rumble and all those kind of things. So make sure if you see our sponsors and you have a chance to support them in any way, shape, or form, please do that because they allow us to do this show, this goofy show of ours, each and every weekday at 10 a.m. So enjoy the weekend. We will see you guys back here on Monday.